Welcome to The Informant, the podcast that talks about anything and everything. We cover from sports, religion, politics, social, you name it. I'm your host as ever, Doc McLeod. So without any further ado, let's delve right into it. Good day, my good people. I hope I find you well. Right. I was trying to move into football and move away from politics. But the phone calls that I've received are endless. Listen, I want to try and clear one or two things. If you hear everybody trying to claim that I know people, or I speak to this one, I speak to that one, this is now the time to prove who speaks to who. I'm forced to come back because some people requested that I come back, not just general people, but the players within the political field. Reason being, I think I've always stood on a very neutral ground for me to explain things. Remember, we started to bring onto you things like job for people to try and understand the basics of politics, the structure of the Zim politics, and how democracy is defined, not according to the Oxford Dictionary, but according to the Zimbabwean politics. I have news here. News number one for the Geza camp. Number two for the sitting president's camp. Let me tell you what's happening. It's not only the sitting president camp and the Geza camp, as people are saying, but there is quite a number of factions within the whole system. But how does this work? This is supposed to eliminate every person who has worked with the opposition or outside of the system to try stand up or claim that they are in communication with such and such. It's not time for that. I have always said, and I reiterate, that this is a Zanu PF in-house divide, and things are not looking good. But with the delay of what was meant to be a couple takeover of the acclaimed Geza movement, delays have costed that camp. I'm going to explain to you what was explained to me in detail. As of now, let me try and explain something. Right. Question that needs to be asked right now. Ever since, for the last 45 years, regardless of the challenges that we faced, we have never seen the leaking of documents, especially government documents, onto public domain at the rate at which they are being leaked at the moment. Now, this leaves a question: who is leaking such documents? There are some agreements that are being done behind the back, and there are some agreements that are not going through the tender process, but still at the end of the day, they are finding their way onto the public domain. That's where the big fight is. The Geza revolution seems to have, if I can say, is now dying a natural death. They have been infiltrated. Remember, I spoke about his last presentation when the broadcast just came cut off, and I told you that they had been invaded while he's doing the broadcast. The network was challenged thereon, and they had to make sure that they ran for cover to protect themselves. What's the position of Comrade Geza as of now? You might speculate, you might hear from A, B, C, D, you might hear from different people. The position of Comrade Geza right now, number one, like I highlighted, he is not feeling very well. The old man has got his own medical conditions, which needs to be attended to at least 3 times every week, and yet is not being accorded all that. Now, because of the failure to accommodate just his health, has seen that he has actually dangled with his life. Remember, I told you that treason is hanging upon his head. Right now, speculation from people who say, he's been given a car, he's been given a house. No. It's beyond that. But one thing I can confirm to you is talks are being now engaged behind the scenes. He has got to come and apologize on public domain, of which very high chances are. I'm told he's going to have to do that. What he tried has failed, but he has gone on to see that the people that he thought would support him financially have let him down. He is well aware that a lot of people have fundraised through his name and have made it to bargain themselves. There's names that have been listed, and I've got a documentation, and I'm going to be putting it up so that people will see that this is not just a talk of my own. Neither do I just create issues from Norway. Issue number 2, it is the Geopomona side project. information has been leaked on public domain, which has incensed the sitting president and his camp. Why people have gone to that extent of disrespecting his position to such an extent that they no longer are afraid of putting such sensitive information onto the public domain. You know, it's highlighted that, and I've got the documents, and here are the documents with proper signatures. I just have got to blur them so that you know that I have got the documents and I am in possession of the documents. So let's not talk on a hearsay. These are real signatures, and I cannot just put information or documentation on public domain which is not correct. Otherwise, I'll be done for that. This is proper documentation which is showing what's happening behind the scenes. But who is leaking all of that? Remember, the president is not growing younger, he's growing old by the day. The president, I would not say, I'm not God, I can't tell you, but all I can confirm is he has got more days behind him than days ahead, meaning to say he is coming to be of age when it comes to age. So let's respect the fact that at some point he's going to have to resign and go sit at his farm as he has promised before. The 2030 agenda, which I've said is going to be taken away from the public domain, has since been taken away from the public domain. The hashtag 2030 ED and Change Aripo have all been taken after I told you, and it's all confirmed. You're not seeing all those things anymore. And I told you that a lot is going to be pulled from the public domain, which I think I listed 5 things, which made many people to know that I'm not just bluffing or fluffing, but I'm dead set of what I've been sharing. So now here is the issue. The next documents that are not yet leaked but are in the hands of the enemy from within the Zanu PF party are the qualifications of Dr. Mutuli Ncube that he acquired from France. This I say before these things come. Why? Because it's all before ready to be put on public domain. But how much of this damage is this going to do? How much of this damage is it going to be of effect to the current position of our government and the way things are going? Listen, Zanu PF is Zanu PF. It's only but an in-house divide. Magandanga anojiga ese, magandanga anobatana, magandanga anekakuregerana kavanoita pachigandanga dzinonzi nzira dzemasoja. Listen to this as we continue. I want to tell you that there are certain people that are going rampant, throwing things all over. There are some candidates who were looking forward and aspiring to be presidential candidates at the time of the end of the tenets of the sitting president. There is no way out. The sitting president is going to step out as was promised by Comrade Geza, that he needs to step out and step out now. The sitting president has to serve his full 2 terms so that at retirement he enjoys the presidential package, which comes by completing your two terms in office. So definitely the sitting president is not going anywhere any day. So all of those promises were defended and the president is going to be there. But the 2030 agenda is still going to be pursued, but it's no longer going to be made public. So all those who were thinking they were fighting the program, calling us Rigananda, calling us people not to be trusted, here is information that's coming and unstoppable. This is going to be announced on public domain. Hear me and hear me clearly as I give you this information right now. Right. The Geopomona project is said to have costed 162 million. And some are calling it a scandal, but I can tell you about the ownership. Or 2 people are owning that. And I want to, it's now on public domain that Sean Mnangagwa is owning 50% of that. Whoever leaked those documents is now a person of interest, because such documents shows that there is leaks within the system and those leaks needs to be covered. And I'm well informed that peace is not going to reign until the person is identified. And the official opening of the Geopomona project, the council revenue account has now been handed over to the government. What does this mean? It means to say there's no longer going to be any delays when it comes to paying the Geopomona or project owners. There is no delay in paying for that. That setup alone, which has made the council under Jacob Mafume to lose its account and have it handed over to amended by government is what is implicating Mtuli. So for that, there's documents that have now been put together to try and expose what they are calling his false qualifications acquired from France. A lot is happening within the Zanu PF. And I can tell you, whoever is leaking these documents is making one of the biggest mistakes, because it shows that the war is on. The fight is unstoppable, and the fight has just ended. Insane. Some people have leaked the documents all as a way of trying to discredit what Shoni Mnangagwa is doing, especially in protecting the legacy of his father, which I think is entitled to and has got a right to. But at the very same time, I'm not here to defend anyone, but I'm here to tell you that people are focusing on the wrong people, on the wrong person, and at the very same time, at the wrong point. What is causing all of this? What is causing all of this is simple. Because there is not a legit opposition party. If you look at the Shabangu, it's now a Part B Zanu PF project. If you look at the one who people are counting for, he doesn't have a party, but is standing as an individual. Like I've always said and gone against the people who were calling me Gananda and all that stuff. Hear me, they know they have dismantled the opposition, but it's not easy to dismantle Zanu PF. The project that's standing is been there for more than 30 years. The late President Robert Mugabe could have ruled during his time and left it on for the next, who was meant to be the sitting president, who by now, if things had gone according to plan, would have been passing on the baton to the retired Juru. But for late, because things were not done properly, that's what's costing everyone. People will talk about the revolution, but there is no revolution here, because there's no revolution without a structure. People are still promising about the insurgent, the reappearance of Comrade Geza. Comrade Geza is not well. That's for a fact. It's been said and passed to me. Right now, all the demands that people are saying, that he has demanded for a house, and he has demanded for a car, and he has demanded for money amounting between 1 million and 3 million, all that is something that is got to be binned. Let me tell you, Comrade Geza right now is in communication with people that have reached out to him, not through his mobile phone, but through the channels of communication. This has left the VP knowing that whatever they had built had been broken into. Remember, I told you, these differences will work in time. So time is of paramount importance. Time was a major factor. The delay in applying or implementing that which they had planned has backfired, and it's now costing them. Right now, the Geza camp is very unbalanced. People who are out there claiming to represent Comrade Geza, whoever speaks from today, from what I am told, trying to represent Comrade Geza is a liar. Because right now, it's confirmed, and I have got it, it's confirmed. They are now in constant communication, trying to see if they can reach an addendum, if they can find a common ground on how he has got to come back. Because right now, the man is not feeling very well. And he has heard and seen the news that some people have benefited. It might be the small Vits, it might be the small Aquas, it might be some people are saying is little monies pertaining to the war vets, but they have benefited. And some have actually started now to withdraw the support that they were giving. Listen, money triumphs all things. Even the Bible says that money answers all things. So there's no way out. You can fight billionaires when you don't have anything. Of all the monies that have been raised, I am well informed that not even 1,000 US have managed to reach unto Comrade Geza. He has seen that, he has fought a seriously lost battle, and right now he's just there to try and recover, to see how best he can be incorporated back into Zanu PF. The negotiations are on, but I'm told in due course a public announcement is going to be made while it goes to apologize. I used to tell you, Zanu PF is Zanu PF. Zanu PF cannot be changed or taunted from outside. Zanu PF can only be changed from within. Here is the position that we have. So when it comes to the contracted, when it comes to the contracted company selected for the Geo project, you will see that it's not only going to be happening in Zimbabwe, in Harare, but it's now also going to be applied to all the 10 provinces to feed in to the same project. So that project, it's a project already concluded, unstoppable from what I am told. So who is who now in this whole Jew? Let me tell you, Zanu PF has put together a system that cannot be broken now by just a simple ordinary person. It's going to go generation to generation to generation to generation. What have I been informed? The delay that will push it to 2030 will not only see the president stepping down at the end of 2030 after completing his vision, but by then, Sean Mnangagwa will be not just but a major. He will be a general to protect their legacy. Here it is. So it's a well-planned thing where it's going to have to be built. If they are putting the building blocks together and they know exactly what they are doing. Right now, they are in phase 2 of the project. Henceforth, I used to say to people, be neutral to get this information. Very soon, I'm going to be in Zimbabwe. I think I have decided to do that so that I get to talk to people direct while we are recording. That's what they have said. Instead of me just doing just a representation after getting the information, so that people will know who is getting proper information from the proper source. Welcome to Zimbabwe. If you think you were backing Comrade Geza, let me tell you, you are left right in the doldrums instead of just taking off your hands. This time, for what other people dreamt or thought would come, it's still a time too far. This is a Zanu PF internal divide. People who are leaking these documents are some of the people who are intending to be presidential candidates when the time for nomination comes. But also I am told as they go, there's also going to be an amendment of the Constitution to make sure that all these dramas will never be repeated again. Welcome to Zimbabwe, the country I love, the country that's within my heart. For now, I'm out. Have a good day.